Evening, everybody. Happy Friday, episode 39 of the amazing Barbers Arms. Coming up on tonight's show, we've got a cracker. Me and Gaz are going to take you through the weekly news, which is coming up right after this intro. And then at 8:15, we've got one of our own from Wahl, from the main. What can I say about this guy? He's got a massive reputation. We've got Five joining us in Barbers Arms at 8:15, aka Queen Greenwich. A lot of you didn't know that, but Five's going to be joining us, multi-award winning stylist, celebrity hairdresser, and he's going to talk to us everything about hairdressing and barbering and Wahl and his career, and also when he started on the Craig David pop video. So Five's coming up at 8:15. 8:45, we've got Gaz's cocktail, which for me it might be a paracetamol and a glass of water tonight, a bit under weather. We've got some of our local heroes coming on tonight. We've got Lynndy Rolfe joining us at 8:55. And at 9:10, we've got Paul Curtis joining us. Me and Gaz will take you up to closing time. Without further ado, please welcome in association with Wahl UK and British Barbers Association. Welcome to Barbers Arms episode 39. Please welcome the one and only Mr. Gary Machin.
Well, thank you, sir, and welcome everybody to Lockdown 3, day 30. Can you believe we've been off for 30 days already? Just like to off quickly for... great show last week. I think we had some great guests on. Thank you very much to Edward, Nick and Ross. We had Ross as the Scottish contingent. We brought Burns night in with a bang. I think we had a little bit too much after the after show party. So thank you very much to all our guests. They were extraordinary last week. We had a fantastic night. I know you're feeling a bit under the weather tonight, mate. So what's your tipple tonight? What are you going to do? What are you going to do for drink tonight then?
Well, I'm starting off for a nice cup of tea tonight, just to start this weird 39 episodes, guys. You've never seen me have a cup of tea. I'll be ribbing my guests tonight if they're drinking a tea. We've had a few teetotals on, but look at the cup there. This bought at Christmas. It's a Wahl global, not local, with all the amazing artistic team embossed onto this. And I think down here somewhere we've got Five who's going to be on the show tonight. So it's a bit special drinking out of this one, guys. I think before we move on to anything tonight on episode 39, another sad loss in the hairdressing and barbering industry. Woke up to that news this morning. Facebook, Instagram's been flooded with the very, very sad news of the passing of Alan Stone from Stoney's Barbers. I only met him a few times, always positive, great guy. I know you guys did a lot more with him at the British Barbers Association, but just another sad loss. And if it fetches anything back in lockdown, is that, you know, we've still got each other. You're still here. You've got your families. You've got a roof over your heads. No matter, we can deal with whatever's in front of us, but you can't deal with what him and his families had to deal with. So our commiserations and you know, our love goes out to Alan and his family, his two young kids and his wife, and a massive loss to the industry. I know a lot of barbers out there wanted us to say that tonight. But everybody here at Barbers Arms sends our love and best wishes to Alan and his family. God bless, pal.
Yeah, it's a sad loss. Like you said, we've had a lot to do with Alan over the years. I think I met Alan, you know, perhaps 8 years ago, something like that. Judged his first competition. He's been in every competition since we started with the BBA, shaving and Barber of the Year. He's been in the finals, I think, 4 years running. And he hit the final this year as well. He was in the finals that never took place last year due to, the situation we're in. He actually made the final, and he was actually, on our list to come on the show as well, which is quite sad. And we didn't manage to get him on before this tragic news. All I can say is, our hearts go out to his family, and I mirror exactly what you can put up with anything. This is just absolutely tragic news. Young man, I think he's younger than us as well. And you know what my most endearing memory of him is? He, we run the British Barbers. We have all our finals in the boxing ring, and he came to one of the finals. He was shaving in the boxing ring, and he got to the ropes, and I lifted the ropes up to get him in, and I said, "You all right, mate? Nice to see you," blah, blah, blah. And he was like, "Oh," I said, "What have you done to your leg?" He says, "Oh no, I had a hip replacement 10 days ago and I didn't want to miss the show." And I said, wow. You are kidding me." And he said, no. He said, you know, doctor said I shouldn't be here, but I made the finals. I couldn't not come. So we had to stretch the ropes even further, keep his legs straight. And he dropped his kegs in the boxing ring to show his scar. I know Jackie will be, you know, giggling when I bring this up. You know, we've had a few tears today about the situation, but, you know, that's the type of guy he was. He was an absolutely lovely fella. Met him quite a few times in South Shields, you know, up there. And lovely people. And my heart goes out to his family. So, Stoney, I'll see you in the pub in the big blue sky, mate, and we'll have one when we all meet.
I got a call off Johnny King, and we were just talking about it today. It's just another sad loss, isn't it? You know, it magnifies it in this time as well. Okay, now we're all right here on episode 39. We are a bit doom and gloom, but it needed saying. But one thing, if Alan, you know, if any of his family watch this, I don't profess at any point to have been close to him or anything like that, but obviously met him on a number of occasions at exhibitions. But I would say he always said positive. But the amount of good well wishes that he had today, God, you should be really proud, because everybody had just real nice, positive stuff to say. And I read through them all, and you know, even though you don't know them, you get a bit choked up because it's somebody in your industry, it's somebody who we've seen, and we all become figures in this, you know, especially exhibitions. And whether you're working against the brand or you're working for it, or where there's always competition, that's life. But even the people that you probably won't go out for a pint with afterwards, you still miss them if they're not in the same spot every year. And so it's just another loss to this fantastic industry. And, you know, hopefully now, you know, we can just hopefully get through this next 4 or 5 weeks, get some good news off government and try and get everybody back into positive. Yes, guys, I have been a bit ill this week. I've had a headache for about a week. I'd had my COVID test. I knew I'd not got it. I'd got no symptoms, but you just eliminate it, don't you? Because as soon as I started coughing, or I said I didn't feel well, I got a temperature and I've had a headache for a week. Everybody give me a wide berth. I couldn't even get a cup of tea anywhere. So I went and got the test done. I think that's my 3rd test I've had done, and it came back this morning, negative. But yeah, I'll not be drinking too much tonight, guys. I'll be having a cup of tea with all you teetotallers out there, which will be nice.
I'm going to have your share then. So I'm going to have a bit of Irish in me tonight. So, Glanjivar, all the best, Stoney. We'll see you. We'll see you in the big black pole.
Before I move on to what else, guys, we've got some great stuff coming up. Just to give you the Instagram as well, Simon Shaw Wahl. You got Gaz, which is the British Barber, Barber_arms. There are Instagram accounts that you can reach out to us and get in touch with us. On the Barbers Arms website for all the last episodes and the podcast downloads, thebarbersarms.co.uk. If you want to email us as well, it's barbersarms@thebritishbarber.com. Those are our email and social media addresses. Guys, coming up as well, before I forget, I want to say it now, if people are watching now and then join us later, and guests that join us this next 2 or 3 weeks, we've got some amazing guests coming up on Barbers Arms as well. So next week, the 5th of February, we've got Barry Stevens, the owner of Barry Stevens Hairdressing in Leicester. And then on the 12th of February, I'm really excited about this one. Not that I'm not excited about having Barry on, but we've got a good pal of mine, Mark Woolley from Electric. Mark's got a number of shops in and out of London and also Brighton, but he's got the amazing brand as well, the Electric product brand. So Mark's going to be joining us at the 12th of February. So some fantastic guests coming up on Barbers Arms.
Well, I mean, it goes without saying, we've got Barry, but Mark, we meet on the travels. I mean, we see him all the time, don't we? He does all the Chicago show, all the main shows in the States as well, because he's trying to take his brand over there, the Electric brand. So that'll be a fantastic one to see as well. And we've also got a lot of our local heroes on as well. So stay tuned, people. We've got some exciting times coming up, new and unseen guests. But the main thing as well, and I think we ought to put it out there, if there's anybody that anybody wants to see on the show, just let us know, and any questions you want to put to them as well. We are going to have an interactive spot at some point, and you can send your questions in live. So anybody wants any questions or know anything about all our guests, you're going to see them in a list, or we're going to give them you before they come on. So if anybody's got anything that you want to know, particularly about a certain guest, please let us know. Before we go any further as well, our regular guest who watches our viewers all the way through, Mr. Steve Bean, it's his birthday today. I've got to wish him happy birthday, because he'll never get it. But all the other guys, I know we got Mr. Johnny King, we've got Eric Lander, the one and only. I spoke to him before the show. Everybody's having a bit of a tough time of it. We're all here for each other. Anybody wants anything, anybody needs anything, just let us know, and we'll have a little bit of crack, and a little bit of banter on the way. So me and Mr. Simon Shaw, I think we're expecting 5 in about 5 minutes, aren't we? Something like that. Quarter past 8 is due in. So
yeah.
What's been in the news for you this week then? What have you been doing? What's been happening?
I think lots of prep. We've got some great stuff coming up that I'm going to be able to announce in the next week or so from Wahl Professional here in the UK. Some incentives that we're doing in education, and some great stuff for barbers who watch us, which is great to get involved in, that we're going to put out there. Some product meetings. We've got some great products coming out this I wish I could show you all tonight. It's a lot. This is coming out in September, this is coming out in October. It's for you to get excited about, but unfortunately they're confidential. But we've got some great products coming out, so lots of stuff around that. Being busy with meetings this week. Seems this week, I felt this week, I don't know if anybody else has done the same, lockdowns now become normal. So when we used to say, people used to say, oh, can you come out and see us on this date? But like, I remember Charlotte saying, well, we're going to be looking, there's no Mondays left in 2020, in 2019. This would be in February, you got 3 or 4 Mondays left. And I used to sit there and think, that's my weekend's fucked then, because I always travel off on a Sunday. So if I've got a Monday, if I've got only 2 available Mondays in the year, I know I'm not going to have a long weekend any time unless I'm on holiday. And it came up a few times today. We're trying to organise meetings with different sectors of the Wahl professional team, and everybody were chock-a-block. And I'm like, yeah, I've been like doing 4 or 5 meetings a day on Zoom, and I was trying to get in touch with me and Rick Roberts kept missing each other, and that came up. God, we're so busy. I can't get a meeting with you till next Tuesday. So I've had that dreaded thing today. I was speaking to Mark Woolley earlier, and I'm like, the lockdowns now become quite normal, and your lives sort of adapted around it, and you've made, the work schedules as busy. I'm not saying I'd swap it for what I do, Gaz, but
it's funny.
Busy.
It's funny, but I've been doing the same thing. I've been connecting with a lot of people this week. I started getting up at the right time and going to bed at the right time. Every night's like no school in the morning, isn't it? You're stopping up and watching TV, and I've just got back to normal this week, getting up, doing the right thing. I know Rachel does barmaid anyway because school run and everything else, but it's just getting a bit of normality back as well. But I do really think there's a lot of people out there struggling to fill the days as well, because the type of business they've got or whatever. The feeling I've got is we're people, and we're just missing that interaction. I spoke to Johnny King, potatoes, Johnny King, and he's you have to keep phoning people and zooming people and getting in touch, because the people, you don't know how people are suffering out there really, or how they're dealing with things, and you put a brave face on. So a lot of the time, and I think I'm having a lot of people phone me, with hardship cases, with and they really brassed off about, I mean, I know this is, I'm not answering your question really, but really pissed off about footballers, the police having haircuts. I mean, this has got to stop, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the newspapers and the news is absolutely full of people having their hair. I mean, 31 coppers in Bethnal Green having a haircut. You couldn't write it, could you?
It's just not, And as I say, I think somebody had sent me a message in week saying, can you get the barbers who'll cut the Premier League footballers' hairs? Can you get them on Barbers' House to explain themselves? Now I can't be fucking asked. We know who they are. It's not hard to find out. Go on their Instagrams, go on their Facebooks. You'll find out who they are. You know who you are if you're watching, or if your mates tell you that I've said it. I'm not going to mention your names, but you know who you are. But you are kind of cheating because I don't believe for anything that you're in a bubble with those professional footballers. And I also don't believe that you're doing it free of charge. Welcome into the house in his glorious setting, the one and only, a.k.a. Quain Greenidge, Mr. Five. Five, are you there?
He's in his greenhouse, I think. We got a lot of foliage. Where are we? Where are we, Five?
Five, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yay!
Yay!
How you doing,
Evening,
bro?
guys.
How are you, sir? You well?
I'm very well, very well, very well. On this Friday, it doesn't even feel like a Friday evening, does it? I tell you, it doesn't. I'll tell you, all my days are rolled into one. You know what I mean? And first of all, as well, just on the back of what you guys said as well, deepest condolences goes out to Alan and his family.
Yeah.
You know, definitely used to see him out at all the hair shows, salon internationals and stuff. Good guy, good guy, good guy.
Yeah.
I must say, Five, you are looking as rock and roll as ever. You never change. You're always immaculately turned. I know you're into male grooming, and there's no excuse. And it's an easy maintenance job for yourself. But you look fantastic, mate. Lockdown must be suiting you.
Well, thanks, Gary. Thanks. I'll tell you what I really got fitted in my garden, the fountain of youth. So I have a little sip on that every day, and it seems to be working all right. And a little bit of the old, I can see it, but where is it? There you go.
What are you drinking?
Brandy and apple juice.
Oh, beautiful.
Like,
good answer. All
is
the very best.
Is in Del Boy's flat? You need to get yourself sorted out, you Gary. Same age as you. You need to stop drinking that Newcastle aging brown ale.
Do you know what though? I don't colour my hair though. That's the thing. So I refuse.
Do you know what? Matt Woolley said to me today, he says, "What's that old guy with grey hair that works at BBA?" I went,
Who's that?
Yeah, who's that? Five, great to have you on Barbers Arms. It's a bit surreal for me because obviously I've worked with you for 15 years, and so there's no biasness to this program. We don't have lots of Wahl artistic team members on, but I think you're a little bit different as well with your multi-award winning array behind you, the amount of celebrity clientele that we're going to talk about that you do. It's great to have you on. Pretend I'm not Simon Shaw at work with you, so feel free to say what you want. Gary, I have to tell you a question. One of the things with Five is he's got there now, but he used to he'd be really busy, multi-busy. So if we're having meetings and we were all traveling to a place, I would always think I'm going to give Five at least half an hour leeway because she's going to be anyway. There's one instance where we're in Herne Bay, we'd all sat around for a meal. Five still, he'd phone up. I'm just running behind. I'm running behind. And you got to a point where we'd start some fun. Five comes in and you think, just going to have a quick word with him and just say, come on, you need to be on time for these meetings. I know you're busy and I know you've got clients. And he came in and he'd just been doing Michael B. Jordan's hair, who had just starred in the latest Creed film, the Rocky trilogy. And before I could say, you need to be on time, it fetches it back to earth that you think, here we are sat in Herne Bay in a premiering state, and he's handling these celebrities' hair. It just sees where you are in life, but we'll come on to that in a minute. Gary.
Good steak.
Five. I mean, all our viewers are dying to know. You're a stalwart of the art team for Wahl. You've been around, feels like, for years. I don't know. Simon will tell me exactly how long you've been with the team, but just for our younger barbers out there who want, we haven't heard your full story yet, and we're going to have that off you in a minute. But I just wanted to start off with is, if somebody came to you, did you have a plan when you first started? Some people, they know exactly where they want to go as soon as they start their career. They want to be this. I want to be the best. How did your plan figure out? Did you have a plan? Did you fall into barbering? What was your story, and where did you want to go?
So my story is very unconventional. I actually wanted to be a graphic designer or somebody that worked in animation. So drawing, all of that kind of arty stuff was me. Technical design was me. And then what I found is that I had a love for hair. When I used to have hair back in the day, you know, I'd have my little afro. My dad would cut my hair, trying to get it round, but it would lean off to the side a little bit. So I was like, what? I can probably do this myself a bit. So I remember I had my first pair of Wahl clippers, and they were the home cuttings, arrived in the box, you know, and I just started to practice myself. And I found that just by doing it myself, I was able to do like my friends' hair, kids in the area. And for me, wanting to be a graphic designer, I found that hair was another medium that I could express my creativity. I mean, back then it was a lot of patterns and designs that would go around the head. So for me, it was like a general progression from using a pencil and paper to using the clippers on hair. So yeah, that's how it more or less started for me.
So really, you had the look of the Irish with you.
It runs in the blood. It runs in the blood. My dad's a not bad barber back then, but you know, yeah, it runs in the blood. Runs in the blood.
So, Five, coming on to Barber's Arms and things, you'll have seen how the show works. We're going to ask you some questions, and we'll finish off with a profile of you as well. I probably know most of the answers. I've travelled a lot away with you, but it'd be nice to hear it for a first time. So, we're going to come on with some questions first. When you as an individual, when are you the most happiest? What scenario are you the most happiest in?
I would say happiest. When you say happiest amongst when I'm doing my thing, i.e. hairdressing or education.
Just in life, just tell her, you know, a lot of our viewers need picking up sometimes, and just we're not working at minutes. So just generally, if it's work, it's work. If it's not, where are you the most happiest?
Well, I'll touch base on a bit of everything. I think now is a time where a lot of barbers, hairdressers, we're very reflective now. In this time, salons are closed. You're not having to, you can't go to your shop. You can't go and do clients. So it is a very reflective time. I mean, in normal instances, I love being a part of a team. I love doing the educational side. I mean, after being in it for so long, nearly 30 years, it's like very much like giving back is one thing I love. Going around and teaching the new cats that are on the block how to use our products on a basis now with regards to what's going on with the lockdown. I've had a lot of time to look into myself and realize what it is that why did I start doing hairdressing in the first place. And for me, it has kind of reignited my passion for it. Just like loads of other barbers, the days just roll into one. I found a lot of solitude because I've taken up cycling now. So I'm one of those guys that you see in all the lycra whizzing around the world, and I find that for me it's liberating, it's free, it gives you time to think about things, and I just can't wait to get back out and see the wider community.
Five, for our viewers, where is it that you do your thing? Are you salon owner? Do you educate full time? What is your thing? Where are you based?
Right, so because I have my Dubai, so I'm based at a salon in Clapham called High, where I'm a director. I'm not just a barber, I'm a barber stylist. So I'm in and out from there. There's times when I'm working on TV shows, films. At the moment, because of what's happening, the film world is kind of slow. But yeah, that's where you can catch me, where I do my thing, and hopefully 2022 or 21 should be on Salon International stage. Hopefully,
I've got to ask you this question, Five, and I don't really talk to you about it when we're together, but I think for Gary and for production team and all the viewers who's watching tonight and through the week, just tell us about the big breakthrough when you starred in Craig David's video. Just talk to us about that.
Oh right, yeah, right, okay. So did you know that's nearly like over 20 years ago? Like I sit back sometimes and I think, my gosh, that was a long time ago. So
I watched it again today. I googled it and just watched it before you came on today. Have you seen it, guys?
No.
Five, tell them.
Yes, met the girl on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and all the other days, mate. I tell you. But that was a funny one because as being Craig's stylist, then we was touring. We was all over Europe, And that was a time when he had like the little shiny bumps kind of thing, that little design thing that he had in his hair. The maintenance of that was, at that time we had the products, but he would have to sleep over the bed like that just to keep the style in place. And we was doing a video, talking about doing a video for it. And the treatment was like what he would be in a barber shop, having his hair cut. And Craig was like, why don't you get my barber to do it? For me, I was like, well, okay, it sounds like a good idea. I'll do it. And yeah, managed to play myself in the 7 days. What is quite funny is today, as Si says, it still gets played to today. And I look at it and I think, oh, if I'd known like back then. Like,
did you get no royalties?
It's still going to be being played 24/7. It's still one of the best tracks. And shout out to Craig for getting his, is it MBE he got? Dick, well done for him. So, yeah, it really was a blessing and a nice thing to do.
Do you know what, Five, though? When things like that happen, I mean, how old were you when that happened?
Cool. You're talking about 29, 28?
So, you know, you've done a lot of work before that. You've been in the industry.
Yeah.
You've already picked up celebrity clients. I mean, you must have, when you did that and you saw yourself on MTV or, you know, you walk into a pub and it's playing, you know, on the TV or whatever, you must have thought, this is it, man. You can't get any better than this. Like,
well, I'd like to think I'm quite modest. When it would come on, I'd be like, oh my God, is anyone looking at me? Or do they know? And I would 9 times out of 10, I'd sit there and just take in the ambience when people are like singing along or they're drinking and watching it. But it was for me, it was a milestone in getting that done and seeing that on the screen as well. And especially
I've got another milestone for you as well. How many times would you see when you're on an interview chat show where the host is got a cup which says global, not local, and there's a picture of you down here where you're there. Can you see yourself?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
You're on there. That's the Salon International. Global, not local, motherfucker.
We're local. We're not local. But I've got a question for you, Si. So what is mine in the post? Is it being held up with the red milk Royal Milk?
Why have you not got one of these wall mugs? What's wrong? Why have they not sent you one out? Did you get the new hoodies and the new camouflage jackets?
Listen, Five. Even I've got one of them.
Wow. That's how they've done me. Wow.
Need to speak to Charlotte at Wahl. Five. Yeah, I mean, I'd always say, guys, I'd be the same as well. Did you ever use it in name dropping that when you were chatting anybody up saying, I were on Craig David video, do you want to watch? I'll tell you what I do.
No, I've never done that. I've never done that at all. Probably once or twice, but just have a little bit of a laugh. Do you know what I mean? Or out. I'll tell you a funny story. I was out and with a couple of friends that I had not seen for a little while. And we went to a bar and it came on the screen. So I was like, have you heard this new track? And I kind of got their attention to watch it and all the rest. And I said, yeah, pay attention to the video. Because at the video, it's not just me in the beginning. I'm through it all the way, quite a way. And everyone's watching and they're watching it and they're watching the video. They're watching the video. And then at the end of it, they go to me, they go, that guy looks like you a little bit. And I was just like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. But no, I've never really used it for kudos and stuff. But yeah.
You know what? I bet you've got it on a loop in the barbershop, haven't you? I bet you've got it on. No, and he just
I'm not that guy.
Guys, it's not like that. I've got to say,
I'm not like
some of the famous people who he cuts their hairs, he don't even go on about it. I'd be like singing it from rooftops. We have to prize the information out of him sometimes. Five, I couldn't go any further as well. I'm going to drop myself in it here. Have you got any funny stories about when me and you've travelled anywhere? Any funny stories that come to your mind that I think of stuff with all of you guys when we've been certain things that you've said or done, and I have to anchor on them in this particular time. I laugh to myself,
Well,
myself.
We've had loads of memories. I mean, some of the memories. One of the trips that we've had, which was really amazing and fun, was when we went to Kuala Lumpur. When we was out in Kuala Lumpur doing some hair shows out there for the Wahl artistic team in Asia. Just like the time in the hotel where we're sitting up on the balcony, taking in the sun, sipping on a cocktail next to Si, and Si's just like, he's pushing out bare one-liners. bare one-liners all day, every day. And there's so many funny things we do. But one thing I will say is that you know when Sai is in the house, especially when we're at the back of Salon International, and you know he'll be giving us our briefings and stuff, and then all of a sudden he'll walk off mid-conversation, and you're just like, why is he moving off from mid-conversation? And then about a second later, it hits you, and you're just like, right, okay, oh, that's where Sai's gone. That's where Sai's gone. And you.
Yeah. I was going to come on to one of those questions. I mean, I've got a funny story, Gary, which I'll share with everybody. It's not really funny, but we was in Singapore together, and we was very lucky. We stayed in the Scots Hotel. No, Royal Scots.
Royal Scots, yeah.
Absolute mega 5-star hotel. And of course, Suey, who took us out there, proper gent, really looked after us. And he took us in Singapore. They have all these clubs like the tennis club, and we got to this club. Anyway, it comes out afterwards, and I said to Five, we got into the bar, and I'd ordered two short beers. We just have 2 hours of lager because they were picking us up. Anyway, the bill came. I looked at it, I said to Five, I said, I ain't worked this money out yet. I said, but that looks to me on my calculations, it's £17 for 2 hours of lager. So he were like, yeah, I think it is. So just because it's a 5-star hotel, it'd be like that in London. Anyway, for about 3 days, wherever we went, the expensiveness of the beer in Singapore was unbelievable. Yeah. Absolutely unbelievable. So basically, I've got my story with Five is we had a really busy week. We've done back-to-back seminars, and we get into the airport in Singapore. We get on the plane, and I'm like, I always want to try and switch off. And I get on the plane. We've got really good seats. And we sat before we take off, and I'm thinking, right, I'm going to get a few drinks in me, something to eat, and I'm going to try and sleep because it was a 13-hour flight. As I turns to Five to my left, he's fast asleep before we've taken off. Now, this is pissing me off because he's in a deep sleep as well. And I'm thinking, bastard's gone to sleep here. So I'm like nudging him, going, food's here. Food, do you want some food? He slept the whole 13 hours, and he had the worst sleep I'd ever had. Because I was so jealous that he was asleep, I kept looking at him, just wide awake all the way through the flight. I don't know if you can remember that Five.
Yeah. No, that was a long flight, and well, the seats were comfortable, so why not chill out? I thought you had it, Si. I thought you had
Do you know what, Simon, though, and Five? By the time you guys, I mean, you've been all over the world. You've done, multiple trips all over. You've probably been around the world 2 or 3 times. What's your favourite place, Five? And do you ever get tired of the travelling? Would it ever put you off? I mean, I know we're never going to do it for probably the first half of this year at least. I mean, it's something that I really, really love. But is it something that would put you off, or do you ever think, oh my God, I don't want to do this?
I think for myself, I always don't take things for granted. I'm always like thankful for being given the opportunities in my career to excel to a level where I'm kind of like recognized, traveling the world a lot of the time, in the world and seeing places that I'm lucky that my job can allow me to do that. So moving forward, I mean, my favorite place has been probably Portugal and Malaysia, out that way as well. Different cultures, food. But no, I don't take it for granted, and I can't wait to hopefully be back on the road, back on the planes, and then teaching. Yeah.
Simon, are you going to have a little leprechaun beer with us then, or what?
No, not just yet. I'm having a cuppa, so I'm still on it.
All right, to be sure.
I'm having a cuppa. I was going to just say that there were lots of people watching Five and afterwards, and you could give them a bit of inside information, but I'm a bit intrigued to know, so I'm going to ask you an inside information question here.
Right.
It's 3 o'clock at Salon International. It's buzzing. We've got massive audiences in there, and I do one of my team talks. And Five always says, I can see him. I don't, like I said, I need to say, it's over, we're ready. I'll finish off the last word. I'll look at them all in the eye and just walk away. They know what's expected of them. So there you are at that feeling. I've walked off though. What is there any comments that the guy says? The out that said, I know you have your own little WhatsApp group, and I'm not asking you to name names, but I do know you have a little WhatsApp group that you probably slag you off from time to time.
No.
Come on, 5 now. You can be really.
But shed a bit. Give us a few secrets that happens when I'm not in the room.
I'm going to spill the beans now, and I'm going to spill the beans. I hope I can talk for the rest of the artistic team, Andrea, Mick, Carl. It's funny when Si gives you a prep talk, right, before going on stage, right? He's like the Alex Ferguson. He is like Alex, in the sense that we have a clear objective what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to entertain, we're trying to educate, and we're trying to bring fun to something that could be quite, let's say, boring, so to speak, to watch. You know, somebody teach education. So when Si's done his prep talks, there's a situation where, you know, all of a sudden you get that feeling in your middle sections where your balls get kind of really big. Yeah, your balls get really big.
Gaz has that anyway.
Where you get on and you're just like, right, you know what? We're going up and we're going to smash it. We're going to go up. We're going to give the crowd what they want. We're going to give them education. And, you know, 9 times out of 10, when he walks off, you're just like, right, okay, he said his part. Let us deliver now. We've got to deliver on stage.
Fair play. Fantastic. So who's so you say he's the Alex Ferguson of the hairdressing. Who's the golden balls and who did he hit with a boot?
Well, you know what though, so I would probably say, I mean, back in the day, you know, when I was a lot younger in the team, you know, and I don't know if you remember this, so when Mick joined the team, you know, little boy Mick, he was the golden boy. You know, he's getting older now. He's not so pretty, and he ain't no much like golden boy, you know. But we're getting a load of like young blood coming in, and I think with the team, and one thing that I love about the team is that we all know each other's strengths and weaknesses. You know, you've got Andrea, who's the fade queen, who does an amazing fade. You know, you've got Carl, you've got the new guys that are in, Rick, Alan, God, there's so many of the team, Nathan. Oh, you know everybody that's watching. But I think it's about being a part of a team. It's about knowing your own strengths as well as your colleagues' strengths and weaknesses. So, you know, where you look out for them and make sure that everything's set up. Are we ready to go on stage? You know, have you got this? Are you ready? And then just going out to smash it. And as Si says, global, not local.
I think Mick still likes to think of himself as the golden boy.
Yeah.
And I think there's a few, though, Gary, to answer your question, that do get the boot. But most of all, even if he don't deserve it, he gets it anyway, which is Blakey.
Oh, Blakey, yeah.
He gets it anyway.
Yeah.
But I think what happens now is, because everyone knows he's going to get it when I do it, he takes it seriously, but it makes the others laugh because they know that he's going to get it anyway for everybody else. Yeah. That's just the way it is. I love him to death anyway.
But the thing is, though, man management wise, I mean, I've been backstage with you guys, you know, been on to judge with you, been for a pint with you as well. But I think it's a credit to Simon, all the team at Wahl. You are a family. You look out for each other. There's no egos, no backstabbing. There's none of that, because I know you wouldn't stand for that anyway, Simon. But I think it's a really great, tight-knit team, and I think that's why you're so successful as well.
Sieve them out, Gaz. You know, things that shouldn't bother me, and I have to sieve it out. So if I see something on social media, I should. Sometimes people say, "Well, you're in such a position, you turn a blind eye to that." It fucking pisses me off, and that's what's made us successful. It's the detail. It's the detail with the individuals, because they all have to click together. And if there's anybody stepping out of line or being Billy Big Bollocks, they need to be fetched back in. And the COVID will fetch its own Billy Big Bollocks out, because nobody's policing them. So there will be people that need to be policed again.
Yeah, I think that in just saying what you say, Gary, it's a lot of a thing where, and I've always thought this when I joined the team, it's like you're given a platform here to showcase a brilliant tool, a brilliant product, but then at the same time you're there to showcase yourself. And I've always maintained that if I'm doing any stuff internationally where I'm representing the company, I'm the one that's going to command on that stage. I'm the one that's going to be Billy Big Balls. When I'm with any of the team or we're doing Salon International, we're all Billy Big Balls and we're all together. You know, and so just to echo what Si says, and that's what I think makes us a good team, because I know Andrea's strength, I know Carl's strength, they know my strength. So
do you know what? I think that's, you know, commendable to all of you as well, and you all know that as well. And I think that's how you've been nurtured as well. I could talk all night with you, mate. You know, and I'm sure all our viewers love to carry on. But we've got a new segment at the moment, so we got to go. So we're going to do. I don't know if you watched last week's show. This is the first time we did it last week. And you're now going to be the second. So this is going to be rant or rave. We're going to have 2 minutes to rant or rave about the particular project or the particular thing that we're going to give you. There's 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different types. There's all sorts. Last week we had aliens. This week it could be anything from Brexit to holidays. So, producer, let it roll, and we'll see what comes up, mate. Good luck.
Come on, put something nice and easy. So Adam's one last week. Oh,
It's going. And it's come up as, what was that? Millennials. Millennials. You've got 2 minutes to rant or rave about millennials, sir. Your time starts now.
right, millennials. They sometimes grate me a little bit. They're always on their phones. They know how to do everything. You know, they know how to surfing social media, or if it's not TikToking, it's Facebook. It's not Facebooking, it's Instagramming. They know how to take filters. Let's talk about filters. Taking pictures all the time of themselves, selfies, putting this thing over their face, that thing over their face, that hat, changing their skin color, making themselves fat in this place, in that place, and they've not even left their council estates. Other things about millennials, like as well, is that with millennials, my daughter's a millennial. My daughter is a millennial, so she comes into me telling me that I am old, when I'm just like, no, I'm the one that told you how to be cool, and anything I do is not cool. Anything else about millennials? Millennials are great because you know what? They teach us old boys a few things or two. So you know what? Right up to the millennials. How many seconds have I got left?
5.
4. And one day when I come back, you know, I'm still going to be a millennial, but I'm going to be an older one. So on my phone as well.
Well done, sir.
I'll tell you what, guys, I think one week we're going to have to go through that, because that what 5 just done and Edward did last week looks sad. I'll tell you what, something you just said there about your daughter coming in and stuff. I think we do it. My mum's a real technophobe, so I bought her a new Galaxy phone over Christmas, but she keeps clicking her Wi-Fi off and everything, and I got really frustrated with her. I said, I'll give up now. And she went, I think she said something like, it's funny that, innit? I taught you how to use a knife and fork. Right, now let me show you. I'll give you a bit more advice then. Well done, 5. Great.
Do you know what though? I think that she's got a point, mate. It took us 16 years to nurture you to the point where you could get on that stage, mate. So I think you've got more to thank than you have. So I think that's fantastic comeback. That's brilliant.
So 5, we finish off with quick fire questions, which is just building a profile for our visitors and guests out there, for not only here in the UK but all across the world as well. So here we go. I hope you've enjoyed it on Barbers Arms, mate. You're a great guest. Well done on your rant or rave. Look forward to working with you very soon. I would love a trip abroad in the next 12 months with you. I'd swap my left hand for that. So here we go. 5, what's your favourite drink?
Brandy and apple juice.
Him and Mike will come up with some cocktails, I'll tell you. Just have a normal beer. What's wrong with you both? I probably have tried it, but no, I ain't done brandy and apple. I am going to try it now, though. You're going to have some nice Bobadilla 103 and a little bit of apple juice. Right. What's your favourite music?
No, everything. I've got an eclectic taste.
Everything.
Just pick one.
Pick one. Oldies.
Oldies music. Okay. What's your favourite food?
Favourite food, Thai.
I said food. Favourite destination?
Favourite destination, Caribbean.
I'll try and get you 7 out there if I can. And who would be your ideal dinner date? Who would you love to go? It might be male or female, but who would you love to have a night with?
You know who I'd like to? Hailey Berry. I would. You know why? Because you know she's still looking good, and I would just like to see if I could maintain a conversation with her without sweating.
Tells you something afterwards on the news desk about the mayor of New York, that Giulio Galliani, doing a conference and his dye's running down his face.
Oh no!
On the Trump thing. Anyway, here we go. 5. Thanks for being a fantastic guest on Barbers Arms. 5's drinking his favourite brandy and apple liqueur that he loves to drink. Listening to some oldies music. He's having his favourite Thai food. He's doing all this in his favourite destination in the Caribbean. And he sat across from the beautiful Halle Berry, making sure that he can't keep a sweat on and making sure he tries to keep as cool as custard, which I'm sure this man, if anybody can, he can. 5, thanks for being on Barbers Arms. You're a top man. Adios, amigo.
Pleasure.
5.
Audience, thank you very much for watching.
5, can I just say you are one of the ambassadors of the industry. A lovely guy, great skills, but absolutely humble with it as well. Love having you on the show, mate. Can't wait to have another pint. See you later.
God bless, pal. I'll speak to you over the weekend.
Take care.
Adios.
What a lovely guy, to be sure, sure.
I miss it as well. You know, I miss the kind of being with my team and being with, you know, like for me, exhibitions is always about the really hard work that you put in before, the excitement of getting there. And it's not just what we do on stage for me. The evenings are as important for the food and the drink that we have and the conversations that we have and the little pep talks when, you know, you might go outside for a beer or a cig and and that's the moment for me where I can just say to that individual, you were awesome today. I don't want to say you, and I miss them all. And you know, just having him on tonight, just that he's a great guy.
Do you know what, Simon? I've had so many conversations this week about we have we all have a lot of meetings, London-based usually. We aren't doing that anymore. It's all Zoom now, and it's great getting the meetings done and getting the work done. But do you know that interaction before and after?
Yeah.
Having a pint before or
we do it, me and you do it.
Coffee before, a pint after. The people you meet. I was talking to Barry Stevens from the Fellowship, and you know, you wouldn't meet half the people that we do if it wasn't for networking and being in the right place at the right time. You know, it's very sterile, isn't it, doing a Zoom meeting? I know this is, you know, we love this, but usually there'd be people in the pub that we wouldn't know that we had a chance of making another friend, wouldn't we?
Guys, I'll always see you in the morning at an exhibition, whether it's home or abroad, and I'll say, what we're doing tonight. Before I start my day's work, it's like, what we're doing tonight. If I've got some, I'll meet you when we finish this meal, or we'll go straight for a beer afterwards. Because I think for me, that's the main, especially abroad, you know, it's so important that you have that kind of networking afterwards.
That's a good point. I've got to get you back for that one. Can you remember last year in Dubai, and it was the 100th anniversary, and all the local dignitaries had asked you to do a presentation at a lovely hotel. I'd just done, you know, a 15-hour day at a show when you said, come on, come to this show.
Free drinks, free food.
I'll feed you. There's plenty of drink. Just come along. You didn't tell me you wanted me to speak there either. And then we got there and it was a dry bar. They gave us pop.
But look, just play this up for everybody. Beautiful hotel. All the food are laid out. Absolutely amazing food. It was a bar up until the 11th hour when some of the local dignitaries came in from Dubai. So not councillors. Trevor just messaged who they were. They came in and obviously at that point then the hotel or we as Wahl decided not to serve alcoholic drinks. You had a nice fruit cocktail. If you remember though, we went into the bar downstairs and we made up for it afterwards.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not saying we didn't have a nice night, but you got me there under false pretenses, and then got me up on stage and wanted me to talk to your 100th anniversary do as well to all the good and great.
You like talking. You like what's tonight's cocktail?
So what? Was that an Irish pub we were in at the time as well, or not? To be sure.
Downstairs was, yeah.
I thought it was, yeah. So, are we having the cocktail now, or are we having another guest? I think we'll have a cocktail, or shall we have a guest? I know we've run over a little bit with.
I think it's cocktail time. I think you've got to do
with
cocktail.
5. So I thought we'd bring the cocktail forward a little bit. So tonight is very, very easy. Do you need go back road? So anyway, so tonight, and I don't know if Simon's noticed, but we're having a bit of an Irish flavour to the night. There's no tarmacking going on or anything like that, but I've got Johnny King watching. He's been on to me today. Potatoes, Johnny. But we're just talking all week. Great guy. We're hopefully having him on the show as well. So he's a lovely fella. I've already got my bits and bobs ready before we go on. So tonight we are going to do a cinnamon sour. Now the cinnamon sour, can you believe? There's only 2 or 3 ingredients. So we put some ice in there. Just quickly, when you get your ice ready, all we want the ice for in your shaker, we're not going to even shake it, we're going to stir it. So all we need is for it to cool our ingredients. So tonight for the cinnamon sour, we're going to have 2 parts Irish whiskey. Today we've got Jameson's. We're having a bit of Irish in us. Get the Irish in, Slangebar. So we've got Irish whiskey, and we're going to have 1 part Irish whiskey, or 30 ml. So we put that in. We're going to have 2 parts amaretto. So there's the Irish and the Italian contingent in there as well. So there's our sweetness. And then we're going to have a full lime in there. So squeeze the lime into my little glass here. You can see it. So we're having a lime in there as well, full lime. We've got a little bit of that are going to go in here as well. So you can use cinnamon sticks, but I'm going to use ground cinnamon. So that's going to go in there as well. So that's sweet ground cinnamon. So a little couple of pinches of that. And then we've got our spoon. So, and we're just going to turn this. You can change it round. You can shake it if you want to, but all we're doing is we're just cooling the actual product that we're having there. So there's our glass. I'm just going to turn this over so you can see. So there's we've got our cocktail glass. Now, sometimes if we have a sour, usually, if we have a whiskey sour, there's not as many ingredients anyway, I know, and I've used a little bit more than I should do because I'm going to drink it. So we're going to have our sieve. So we've got our sieve here. There we take it. Lovely. Oh, yes. So there we have it. Then we're going to just rub our lime all the way around there, depending where you're going to drink. We're going to just on the side. And there we have it. Hang on, let me just get rid of that before I drop that. So that's one of my props. So there we have our cinnamon sour. I know you can't see on the top of it, but our cinnamon's actually floating on the top there. Absolutely beautiful. Johnny King, I'm gonna give you this drink. This is to you, sir. Love your company. Don't like your hours. Slang you are. Love you all.
In one. Of course. No danger. Congratulations.
Oh.
I'm just going to pick on one point before we have a local guest on. You said something at the beginning of the show that disturbed me a little bit, which was you're getting out of bed at a normal time. Does that include last Saturday?
Now, last Saturday, I was going to send you a little photo last Saturday of we had a really, really huge downfall of snow last Saturday. And I'm lying in bed and Rachel says, are you getting up anytime soon? I goes, yeah, I'm going to walk the dog. I didn't know it had snowed by this time. She goes, all right. And I goes, because I'm not going to walk the dog. So, you need to get up and take the dog out. Put my coat on, got dressed, you know, walked through the door. It was absolutely, I can't tell you how bad it was snowing. It was blowing a gale. And I'm like, the dog looked at me. I opened the front door and I was like, are you kidding me? Because the curtains were closed downstairs as I came down. I looked and I looked at the dog and the dog looked at me and she's like, well, I'm going. You got to come now. So I went out. Honestly, I'll send you a photo. I looked like a snowman by the time I come. Honestly, it was absolutely bucking it down. It was horrendous, man. Because we've had snow now since Christmas. It's never thawed in this neck of the woods since Christmas practically. And since last Saturday we had that snow. We had that last downfall of snow. And it's done nothing but rain all week. And apparently we're having snow again Sunday. So I don't know, but yes, I did walk the dog, come back in, shoot my coat off and got back in bed. Thank you very much. Why have you been talking to Rachel, have you?
No, I just heard on the grapevine through the group that you were a bit late rising on Saturday morning. But to be fair, Gaz, if I'd have drunk what you drunk on Friday night, I don't think I'd have rose till probably Easter Sunday.
well, I'll let you into a little secret because, and it hasn't showed tonight, but I am, you know, can you see my cheekbones showing? I am trying to lose a little bit of timber. So I've stayed off the ale all week and I'm just trying to drink low carb stuff. So I'm drinking more whiskey than anything else. But last week I overdid the whiskey.
How's that? What? How's that? You're looking good anyway. You always look good anyway. But good luck with that anyway. Try and stay off the old whiskey. I think some of our local guests are just joining us in the bar anyway. So who's our first local guest, Gary?
We've got Miss Lynndy Rolfe, extraordinaire, the blonde bombshell.
I don't know about that. I've just stuffed my face, so I'm feeling a bit gross right now.
You told me in our pre-show interview that you said this was the one night you were going to glam up for. You said you were going to dress to impress.
I know, but what I didn't realise was I'd be getting the keys to my new house today, and I was like, oh my god. So
well, it's absolutely lovely to welcome you to the show. I'm sure everybody who's watching the show has either heard of you or, you know, has seen you before on the show circuit. I'm sure Simon has as well. I know he's had you on his stage as well. So, Lynndy, all the way from down south. So, just tell us your little story. Just where you're from, what you do, who you actually teach, represent. Just tell us your story for all our viewers who don't know you. Oh dear. Are you there? Lynndy?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
you. Did you hear that? Did you hear what I said last?
Yeah.
Go on then, fire away.
No, I didn't.
All right.
I didn't hear you.
So, Lynndy, all I said is just give us your story. Who you represent, who Lynndy Rolfe or Hair by Lynndy is, and we know what you are, and where you're from. Just let our viewers know your story.
Yeah.
Where you're from, where you're based, what you do, and how you got into the industry and where you are now.
Okay, I went into the industry at a tiny young age. I loved hairdressing and barbering. That was my thing. To be honest, I was good for nothing else. I used to sit there in school and be like, I don't know what they're on about. And then not that I make light of people in barbering and hairdressing, obviously, but it was my creativity that got me through. I'm currently sponsored by Indola, and who are part of Schwarzkopf, and I'm also sponsored by Andis, and Ergo Tools, quite a few different brands actually, but the main ones are Andis and Indola.
Okay, so this is really good. So are we going to have a battle of the Clippers now? So if you're an ambassador, and
there is no battle.
I guess you're part of Aldi's team then, are you?
But,
You what, sorry?
Are you part of Baldy's team?
A Baldy's team. Yeah, I suppose so.
Which team is that though? Is that the hairdressing or is that the cooking team that he seems to be doing more cooking now?
No, I'm not on his cooking team. I don't need a microwave to poach my eggs.
Well, do you know what? I watched him the other day do some spaghetti, and I thought it was fresh, but it wasn't. It ended up being hoops.
No, it's not good enough. No,
it's not. Spaghetti hoops is not good enough. Baldy, if you're watching tonight, stop looking at Gary's balls and start cooking some better food than spaghetti hoops. Lynndy, obviously I've known you for a while, and we've seen you on the circuit and that. And it's been nice to watch your career grow as well as it's grown from your early stages. I think one of the first breakthroughs you had was getting through to the Wahl British Barber of the Year final. I don't know how many years ago that is now. Probably.
No, that came up in my time hop the other day.
How many years ago is that?
I think it was 7.
7, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So when do you feel that you made your big break? When do you feel that you felt that the work that was being given to you by different associations or brands, when did you feel that you'd made a kind of difference, or you felt that you'd arrived a little bit?
Well, my story began with Wahl, when it came to doing the dream, living my dream, which was to work on stage and work with companies and develop various things and teach and stuff like that. It was my journey did start with Simon, in fact, who gave me a shot. He kind of let me loiter and lurk and assist, and I used to just hang around like until somebody just would speak to me. And what I did when I was sort of loitering and lurking, was watch what everyone else was doing, soak it up and learn from the best, and adapt those skills that I learned to translate them as I would, rather than I wasn't trying to be anybody else, but I was using their wealth of knowledge and skills to try and translate it in my own way. And then I went on.
So did you make a conscious effort to go and get on the Wahl stage, or was it something, it was competition? So what when your plan, you did hairdressing first, then you came into the world of barbering, which why did you do that? Was it because of Wahl? You wanted to get on the Wahl stage, or what was it?
Initially it was for the experience. I thought, I can't just sit here there has to be more than this, and so I wanted to explore other areas of the industry. I always knew I wanted to teach. That was something that was really something that I wanted from day one. I loved showing people, and teaching is a huge thing for me. Sharing your skills, supporting other people, especially the future of our industry. Who we're giving our advice and tips to now are the future of our industry. They're going to be the legacy. They're going to be the people doing what we're doing, and so I think it's really important to gift that to them and give them everything, so that we have the strength in our industry that we've got now.
And have you done much work abroad? Have you travelled quite a lot with your different career paths?
Yeah.
What's your favourite place you've been to?
In Miami. I love Miami. I did some work out in Miami, and New York was very good. I spend a lot of time in Hamburg at the moment because I work quite closely with Indola in their headquarters, and we do a lot of forecasting and working on current, the sort of forthcoming projects for spring, summer, autumn, winter. We've got something coming up with them in February, ready for spring, summer. And just to bring a bit of vibrancy back to the industry. Everyone's feeling a bit flat at the moment, aren't they? So it's quite an exciting time again. I think things are going to start picking up soon with a bit of luck.
So when do you expect to start to be able to travel again then, Lynndy? Have they given you any idea? Or, I know it's like a piece of, how long's a piece of string, but how are you keeping in touch with Germany and the brands that you showcase? Has everything gone online now?
Yeah, it's all digital, all virtual teaching the moment. So I'm doing a lot of so what I do in with Andis at the moment is I'm teaching hairdressers barbering. I'm teaching them the crossover. So I do a lot of Zoom calls for their cosmetology students. So that's really cool. So digitally it's actually been okay for me. I also am doing some freelance hours in a college near me, and in prison, local prison to me as well, teaching barbering. And so yeah, I've kind of had to take virtual as well. So it's been a challenging, but we're getting there.
I think it's same for everybody though. Anybody that's, you know, done any education, to try and do it virtually, it takes you a few times to get the right kind of atmosphere. You know, one of my things I've always thought is thriving on the audience. You know, my act is all about, I'm prepped, but it will happen what's happening on the night or the day with the people that's in front of me. When there's no one in front of you, just your laptop or your iPad or your phone, it's quite tough. I think the best one I did last week, guys, for the freelance hair and beauty, where there were 116 people, but there were 30 people on my screen at any point. And that kind of got a little bit of normality, but compared to what we used to, it's just not normal, is it?
I think it's, you know, if you're working in front of a crowd, as we are tonight, it's that interaction with the crowd, though, isn't it? I mean, you love that, you know, you squirting them with water, you're throwing your t-shirts out, you know, you are a true showman in the true sense of the word. You put a show on. When you're working virtually, it's very hard to get a feel for the crowd, whether they're enjoying it, whether you can read body language, you can see what they're looking. If they're not even looking at the stage, you're not getting any interaction. And I think that's very hard to read a crowd when you're doing it virtually. Even when you're doing it on Zoom and you can see the faces, it's very, very hard, I think. And I think that's from our point of view. You know, I did my teaching qualification in 1998, and the 90% of your course was how to read your class, how to interact, and how to get them to interact with you and learn and check learning. Now, when you go into Zoom and you do it virtually, it's very, very, very hard. You know, the way the communication skills are cut by 90% straight away, aren't they? So, you know, it's hard. Lynndy, I know I met you, I think it was 6 years ago I first met you, and I met you in Leeds. We had a group of people brought together for a certain project, and we've been friends ever since. And I compared a stage for you at Barber Connect, the Barber side stage, didn't we, as well? What made you get into the, you know, from the humdrum or the salon side or barbershop side of the business? What drew you to being on stage or actually getting onto platforms? What was that all about?
It was about being able, I think, to deliver creativity, to enable people to learn the things that I think sometimes people, I know I might get judged for this, but I think there's been a place where people have kind of held back some of their knowledge and things, so that, you know, it's not that they don't want to share. I think it's a bit of a fear thing, that people are like, because it's quite a competitive industry. And I just thought, you know what, there's enough room for all of us. There is so many different personality types and things out there. I just want to be able to reach people and give them the support and show them that, you know, anything's possible. I'm a mum of 4. My youngest is only 1. I was doing all of this when I was pregnant. I was doing it when I was juggling. I have a disabled daughter. I'm shielding her at the moment. She has chronic lung disease and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, so she can't go out. She can't, you know, so everything has to be done virtually at the moment. And so I want I think it is like I don't want to say a feminist thing, but it's a thing where I was like, you know what, working mums can do this. We can do this. There is a space for us and a place for us, and we're still relevant, man. Do you know what I mean? Still relevant.
No, I think, just listening to that, story, there's lots of people out there who've got kids who have probably thought that ship sailed, that they can't do this. But, listen to people like yourself, and, there's other people in the industry who've got kids who have said, no, do you know what? I've got kids and I love them to death, but I'm still going to have a career. I'm still going to try to do everything that these guys do who have got kids, but they seem to travel all over the world. And, so yeah, I think that's a great thing for people who are watching and listening in, that you've done that. What's the lockdown been like for you? How have you coped yourself individually? How have you got through the 3 lockdowns that we've had?
The first one, I loved it. I was like, the sun is shining. I can actually once in my life maybe try and get a tan. It was wonderful. The second one, I took some teaching hours at a college, so I worked through that one. And this one has been, I have to be really honest with you guys, I have found it incredibly tough. I try so hard to keep everything really positive, but I've had days where I've sat on the floor and cried and my eyelashes have come off. They're flapping around and there's snot and it's ugly crying, because it's been hard. I'm trying to homeschool three children. I've got a baby running around. I'm trying to teach live Zooms. I'm trying to look professional and keep my living room, which is where I'm working from, looking professional. And then a baby runs across and I just want to fucking, oh, sorry.
Yes, it's okay.
I just want to collapse on the floor and be like, fuck's sake!
Yeah.
You've just got the cursing bug off Simon there. If you were Irish now and you were started swearing, that'd be acceptable. But it doesn't come from a young blonde Southerner who's lovely.
Potty mouth, I tell you.
Tourette's can happen to anybody, Gary, as you know. Tourette's just can happen to anybody. You're all right, Lynndy. You can get away with it. So, looking at 2021, before we leave you, what's your aspirations for when you get back? What's your plans? Let's just not give anybody false hopes here. We are still looking at probably April time before people get back to even cutting hair. So, what would your plans be for the rest of 2021?
So I've got quite a big filming and shoot coming up with Indola. If it doesn't work on a big scale, we're going to try and work it out in a smaller scale virtually. So we're in the planning stages for that. Obviously, I've got more trips planned with them, depending on whether COVID allows. Everything's going virtual. I'm doing a lot of teaching, a lot more than I ever anticipated doing, because they're reaching out to me because the students need just more support at home. And as a knock-on effect, I'm also working quite a bit in the prisons as well, because again, it's a mental health side of it that's hitting people this time, and getting out and doing something and being accountable seems to be really working for them. So teaching at the moment, lots and lots of teaching, MVQs. So yeah, assessing.
Can I just jump in there, Lynndy? And I know we're really stuck for time, and we're nearly finished now. But yeah, because you're an ambassador for Indola, and obviously colour's a huge part of your work. I guess Hair by Lynndy is your unisex, so you do a lot of gents, you do a lot of ladies stuff as well. I notice you do a lot of bridal stuff. We do try and research before the show. About colour, and this is really contentious part of the business at the moment, and I know everybody keeps telling the barbering industry, we've got to take on colour, we've got to embrace colour, we've got to push colour, we need colour in our arsenal. But truly, I mean, really, at the moment, I know it's very hard because we haven't got the space and the resources at the moment to do colour. But how much colour do you do on gents? From a colouring perspective for Indola, is it mainly ladies and then you do a little bit of gents, or every campaign that we do, there's always a gent, and it's always including colour. There's a huge selling point on colour with men, especially. It can really increase your turnover massively. Men are becoming more and more open to having
lots more services, and then liking being pampered a little bit more. And I think that if you introduce color, it doesn't have to be vivid, it doesn't have to be wild, it can be just little soft touches of color that kind of just enhance what they've already got, bring a bit of warmth to the face, you know, enhance natural color, cover those little pesky grays that sneak through sometimes when they're not ready to let go. I actually like men with grey hair. And I forgot you had grey hair. I'm not being creepy, but yeah, I think grey hair is...
What could you do for me then?
I think you look beautiful without any help.
Well done. She's
Very
good in PR
handsome
as
fellow.
well.
Very handsome.
Maybe that's something, because I'm getting him a tattoo, Lynndy. So it may be something that we could do for a show where you go off to Lynndy and you come back for a Friday night show with your hair all dyed and your beard done and you've lost your weight and you've got your tattoo on your neck, little cocktail glass that the viewers want you to have. It's the new Gaz, Rachel.
I mean,
Rachel.
I can see it.
Rachel, the barmaid. You should be like that.
Try,
one at a time, ladies, one at a time.
don't try and turn me into Baldy.
Baldy? What the fuck? What do you want to be turned into him for? Him and Kieran just kept looking at your balls.
Oh my God.
Baldy was on the show, Lynndy, and his parting message were that him and Kieran, I don't know his second name, but Kieran were staring, doing a meeting with Gary, they kept staring at his crotch area. It's not something that you'd admit to, especially when you just said that your favourite drink's Pernod and Black. So, Baldy, if you're watching tonight, stick to cooking. We might not see you again on the circuit. But we'll send you a picture of Gaz's sack. For the rest of you.
Lynndy,
Global, not local.
Oh my God.
Lynndy,
Don't bring it. What? Yes.
Lynndy, it's been an absolute pleasure. Lovely to see you again. I hope to see you in the flesh as soon as possible, so we can convene to the bar. But thank you very much for showing female stylists and being able to do it as a mother as well. Fantastic, baby.
Girl power.
We
Girl
love
power.
you.
Well done,
Thank
Lynndy.
you guys.
Have a great
It's so nice
weekend.
to see you.
Have a
Take
great
care.
weekend. Look after your family. See you later. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
A massive testament to women out there as well, that, you know, we know in you know, some of the most powerful people I work with are women. In my working world, men and everybody's like equal. It's just Wahl's different. Some of the top powerful people in the Wahl global company are women. So for me, growing up, I've never felt that, oh, you should be at home. So, but I do feel that there's still a stigma out there. She just said, like, you know, I've got 4 kids. I still want to chase it. So anybody who's out there watching it, you know, you can like look at that and think, do you know what? I'm going to do that as well.
Do you know what, though? I think it's really, really hard for women generally, and I say this, and I'm thinking of barmaid here as well, because I absolutely love it. You know, we go to work, we get up in the morning, we look after ourselves, we get up, we go to work, we come home. Shall I call for a pint on the way home? Yeah, I'll call for a pint. Shall we call for? Yeah, we'll call for a pint on the way. They don't have that option, do they? You know what I mean? I mean, Rachel.
No, if Rachel said to you, she's going to drop Millie off and then she's going to go for a quick pint, you'd be like, what's happened? Are you having an affair? Why are you doing that? But for us, it's not acceptable. It's not right.
I know.
It's not right.
And do you know what? She's the most hardworking. And I'm saying this with tongue in cheek, really, because she will never expect
What
me
you
to say
after? What you after?
No, because she'd never expect me to say this at all. But she worked for a huge salon group, dropped Millie off, got on the train, walked to work, Manchester, got back on the train, picked Millie up. Tea was on the table when I got in, you know, and she'd been 40 miles up the road, sorting Millie out. You know, it's another breed, man. They are another breed. They are absolutely fantastic. And anybody, you know, who says any different, they're fantastic.
I can feel a nice car coming on, Rachel. If you play your cards right, I think you keep this video recording of the show and play it back when you go to a car show room in the next week or so.
If you choose to have a family, you've got to have a great woman behind you. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. To make a successful partnership, and hopefully, in my case, it makes it great that she's in the same trade as us as well. And I know you're in the same boat as well, you know. So I think it's great. So I think our next
guest,
Mr. Paul Curtis. Paul, are you with us?
You're on mute. Take your mute off. It always stumbles people. This
I'm
mute.
back. I'm back.
Oh,
He's
mate.
back. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Your bar looks nice wherever you are. Where's your bar?
I'm in Essex.
In Essex. Whereabouts?
Chelmsford, Boreham.
Oh, Chelmsford. Yeah, I like in Chelmsford. It's nice there.
Yeah,
Gary
did me one. We done BBA things together a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Paul. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Barber's Arms.
How are you?
Can we turn you sideways? Can you turn your camera sideways, mate? Any chance?
There we go.
That's it. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, perfect.
Cool.
Well, Paul,
cheers.
I know you've been in the industry a long time. As you've just said, we did an event together. Did you fall off the chair then?
That's it. Yeah, too much red wine.
We did an event in Essex for Barbers, and Eric Lander was involved, and quite a few others. It was a great event, but for our viewers, just give us a roundup of who you are, what you are, and what you've done.
Right. Well, I'm Paul, obviously. I've been in the hairdressing industry now since I was 14. I started as a Saturday boy. And the only reason I actually got into it, I started off doing ladies hairdressing, and I actually worked as a Saturday boy on a market stall opposite a hairdressing salon. And every Saturday, someone had the great pleasure of actually taking the fruit and veg over to the boss who owned the ladies salon. And every week I was gagging to do it because there's a load of young girls in there, and I was thinking, yeah, I've got to do it. And then one Saturday, as I walked in, they was putting a sign up on the window saying Saturday boy required or Saturday person required. So as I've turned up with like 3 or 4 bags of like fruit and veg and everything, the boss turned down to come and pay me, and I said, can I have that job, please? She went, well, you want to come and work here? And I was like, yeah. She was, why is that? I went, because there's a couple of girls here that I used to go to school with who I really fancy.
What, that was when you had your interview, that's what you actually said?
That's it. I was 14 years old because my parents made me go out and said, if you want to buy all nice clothes and everything, you've got to go and get a job. So I was standing on the fruit and veg stall for like the whole of the summer. It come to the winter and it was chucking it down with rain, cold, hold on. Every day, all I could see was this nice salon steamed up with like obviously girls in there, guys in there, the whole lot. And I was thinking, I want to be in there. I want to be in the warm. And that was how it all started. So she then offered me a Saturday job. So from 14 to 16, I used to go and do the training days, training evenings. At 16, she offered me an apprenticeship. And that was me, starting off with ladies hairdressing.
And that were in Chelmsford?
That was in Chelmsford, yes. Yeah, it was in a salon called Top Knots.
Where are you now? Where are you situated now, Paul?
Well, at the moment, I'm doing my work mainly involves in education. I'm a master educator for Balmain Hair. So I literally travel like whole of UK and Europe for them. Obviously, I do bits and pieces for the BBA. And I do a lot of work with Central Training Group in London and in Essex. It's a college. So I mostly teach level 2, level 3. And I'm actually back in behind the chair on a Thursday and a Friday in the salon that I literally moved to when I first learned barbering. So I've done ladies hairdressing for 8 years. And what I was finding, the salon that I was in, that no one could really cut men's hair. They were scared of cutting men's hair. And I actually self-taught myself because guys were coming in where we were situated opposite a market. People always want to come in and have their hair cut. So I literally self-trained myself using clippers because the girls at that time, I mean, we're going back 35 years ago, were so scared to actually pick up a pair of clippers and cut a guy's hair. So I literally went down that road of doing literally all the guys in there. And I had an old school friend of mine, a guy called Craig Hubert, whose dad owned a salon, which was called The Snip, which was just a barber shop. and literally spoke to them and said, look, I really want to sort of push the barbering side of it, because I just felt it just had that little bit of something else I needed to learn. I'd literally gone through all the ladies, doing all my perming, my colouring, but I just realised that working on the men's side of it just had that little bit more of like, need that little bit more finesse to finish with the hair. So literally I went and worked with Craig. As I said, we went to school together, and literally he taught me barbering, or his dad taught me barbering. And it took, I think, probably about 3 or 4 months where they actually said to me, you've got to get rid of all the ladies' side of things that you're learning, and literally we're going to retrain you into men's, which I'd done. And I say, it took me about 3 to 4 months. I literally watched it, what everyone was doing, and like, it's literally a lot, which is quite hard, thinking that I'd already done the training, gone through to being a stylist, then suddenly went back down that route again of having to learn and watch people the whole time. And I think that's what a lot of people need to realise in this industry, that people don't literally give that time, and literally people need to understand they've got to watch, they've got to learn. I mean, I can remember having to hold sections of hair for blow drying. People didn't use section clip, you had to actually hold the hair out the way. So you was constantly literally visually learning so close to it. And like I say, cracked on with the guys, done that, like literally worked with them from, that was 1990 to 1997. Then opened my own salon, which was across, yet again, unisex salon. So I was still doing a little bit of ladies on the side, but the men's was sort of like more in sort of like an important side of me. And I then, once I literally opened my own salon, that's when I started getting involved with the college. I started getting involved with teaching a local college, because yet again, I was into competitions. I mean, in them days, we was doing sort of Blackpool, I've done the Luton Championships, done the London Championships, done the Essex Championships. So my niche at that time was men's, and I went into partnership with 3 different people. So it was 2 guys, me and another guy who was a barber, and another girl who was a ladies hairdresser. So literally I was doing both bits and pieces, but the local college, because of what I had done and what I'd achieved, wanted me to get involved with teaching. And they took me through my assessor's award, which was great. So literally getting right involved with people. And then in 2007, in 1997, I opened the salon. In 2007, I then moved to Tenerife.
Hang on. Do you know what? We usually give somebody 2 minutes for this, you know. You're talking like a mad Irishman now. I'm going to have to jump in and stop you. So I've already done the research on you, and I know you very well. I know what you've done. But you with Joshua Galvin. Let's cut to the chase. We'll get to where we need to be. But you work for Joshua Galvin. I know you've been very modest here. You work for Joshua Galvin. You're an educator. You've also got a business in Spain as well, I believe.
Not anymore. I had the salon. I opened the salon in 2009, and then we moved back from Tenerife in 2013 because my son got an apprenticeship for playing football back in the UK. So it took about 6-7 months to wrap that up, and then we headed back. He was playing at Chelsea City at the time. So he still plays. He's a school teacher now. When he's 23, coming on 24 now.
Oh, where's he playing his football at the minute?
He plays for a team. It's called the Toby, which is in Romford. So it's Saturday football. It's quite a good level.
Yeah.
He's still playing. My younger son's 21. He's a personal trainer for boxing gym.
Oh, wow. Perfect. So your main job now is, I guess you're in education now.
It is education, yeah. 3 days a week. I'm either on the road, for Balmain, covering like UK, Europe, and then.
Do you work with Paul and Dawn?
Yes. I've worked with Paul and Dawn since 2014.
So I've known Paul since I started my career. He used to be the sales director at Goldwell.
Right. Yeah.
And then when he left Goldwell, he went to Balmain. And Dawn, I've known them both. They're both personal friends. So I've known them for years and years and years.
Yeah, a lovely couple.
Yeah, I love them to death. Yeah, really nice people. Nice to work for a bit as well. But it's a nice.
Oh yeah,
nice...
no, they're great. Yeah, I mean, I literally started off just as an educator. I would like to start off with, because when we came back, it was a case of getting back. I've been away for like sort of just over 6 years, then sort of coming back, getting back into a salon, trying to get my clients to sort of like come back, and I started working with Paul Fultrick.
Yeah.
and I was
Okay.
literally helping run his college and working in the salon. And it was through Paul that got me back on the educating, and he's the one that got me back onto working on the stage.
Does Jason still work with Balmain?
No, he's been gone for quite a while now.
Has he? I saw him on a news channel in Windsor. I think they were doing like about how COVID affected some salons in the area, and they actually went to Jason's salon. Jason used to be amazing at hair extension. I mean, amazing hairdresser, but used to be amazing with hair extensions and things.
Yeah.
Really.
No, he left just before I started.
Hey,
Good
Paul.
educator.
Yes.
Sorry?
Gary, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Jason's a good educator.
Yeah, great. Just Paul, just before we carry on, I know your main job now is education, and I take it each Bob. Have you done anything in the Emerald Isle? Have you travelled over there? The people over there?
Yeah, I've been to Ireland a couple of times. That's purely with Balmain.
We worked over there quite a lot in Ireland and in Northern Ireland. Absolutely fantastic people from south to north. It's a lovely place.
Yeah.
Top of the Irish Forum, the grand people. But when you talk about education, how's that affected you with lockdown? Then have you been? I know we've got a training company as well. How's it affected you with lockdown? I know the first two we were partly able to carry on, but this one it's been a total lockdown. So how's lockdown affected you?
It's been a nightmare, to be honest. I mean, lucky enough, I'm still doing some bits and pieces for Central Training Group. So I am doing some online tutorials. I'm doing level 2 and level 3 hair, and I'm doing some barbering. So every day I'm doing something at the moment. I'm making at least 1 or 2 videos a day. They're getting uploaded and put onto the Central Training Group website. So like, obviously I'm helping the students carry on with their coursework. But yeah, it's a nightmare. I mean, we've all been, it's like I say, it's the 3rd time we've all been in it now, isn't it? And it's just crazy. I mean, after the second lockdown, I started getting involved with, I got contacted by 2 people who are at Guildford Music and Drama University. And because they had no work in the industry, no sort of stage work or anything, they wanted to retrain as barbers. It was a brother and a sister. So from July, I think it was for 15 weeks, I've done 1 day a week or 2 days a week, and literally taught them barbering, which was great.
What's your favourite wall clipper?
Sorry?
What's your favourite wall clipper?
I still just use the super taper, the rechargeable one. I love it.
Rechargeable one or the corded one?
Rechargeable one.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's Gazza's favourite, that one, I think.
I use the detailer as well, and we used Wahl for ages.
That's a question for you. I know we don't usually ask each other questions, but sales wise now, or from a Wahl's perspective, are you selling more cordless than corded now?
I think generally, yeah. I think it's a funny time to discuss it, really, because obviously the sales of clippers just went through the roof last year. So it would be false to look at the figures, because whatever went sold cordless.
Professional.
The corded just sold out as well anyway, the corded version. So we sold it equally. So whatever we had in stock, we sold out. I think it depends on marketing, Gary, and it depends on what we've got coming out at that time. But I think generally the way that styles have gone and the way that we educate on stage, cordless has been prominent in the last 5 or 6 years. What happened in probably 10 years ago is cordless came out, but there were no confidence because people used to like to go back to the corded because batteries would go. Now everything's lithium batteries, so you've got longevity on the battery life. I, from a personal point of view, yes. I think from sales point of view, we do outsell the corded version with cordless clippers, and nearly every iconic Wahl corded clipper, there is a cordless version of it now.
Yeah. What about Irish sales? Is there a lot different in Ireland or not?
I won't be able to tell you that accurate, like the stats in Ireland that they spend, recorded versions either. And I couldn't tell you that off there. But look, Irish barbers, it's such a strong barbering fraternity that I think they'll be the same patterns as what it is globally. You know.
Well, Paul, it's been an absolute pleasure, sir. We could finish the conversation off or the interview off in Spanish, but nobody would actually understand what we were saying because I know you're actually fluent in Spanish as well, aren't you?
I wouldn't say so much fluent, but I can get by. Once I've been back out there for a little while and had a few glasses of vino, it all comes back.
So, una más cerveza, por favor.
Say it again.
Una más cerveza, por favor.
Ah, sí. Me, vino. Vino tinto.
Hasta luego.
See you later, mate. Lovely having you on the show. Lovely to
Yeah, see you later.
See you, pal. Have a nice weekend.
He's a nice fella.
He is.
We did a show down in Essex. I can't remember how long ago it was. The BBA were invited. We had Eric. I think it was Dan Garrity and a couple of others of us. There was quite a few of us down there. And Norman Ellis, you know Norman Ellis down in Essex? He sorted it out. It was there was a few Irish down there as well. And top of the morning to you all. It was good. It was good. It was we had a good crack down there, right?
Yeah, nice. I think nice mix tonight. Again, Barbers Arms fetching you, obviously, different guests every week from different corners of the UK and also Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and all across the globe. 5 great guests tonight, guys. I've known him for years, 16 years we've worked together. He's a brother. He's a great guy. Like you said on his interview as well, that shows you for any of you Instagram keyboard warriors out there. You've been in 2 years, you've won a few competitions. Mambi Gambi, Barber at Year, whatever it is. I don't know. But
hey, just quickly, how long has he been with the team?
I've just said 16 years. My point here is that somebody like him who cuts multiple celebrity hair, he's been on pop stars videos, he's travelled world, he's worked on George Lucas films. If you don't know who that is, he did Star Wars. You know, Usher, Craig David. You know, his celebrity clientele's been massive. Michael B. Jordan. And my point here is that some of you out there, you've done it a couple of years, you've won a few awards for British Barber of the Year or whatever, but there's like multiple categories for all different organisations. Be careful who you choose to enter with. You need to have some calibre behind it. But take a leaf out of that lad's book. He's done it all, and you don't hear him spouting off about it. He's not a keyboard warrior. And maybe he should be a bit more. So maybe he should have some of what you guys have got in you, but be humble. I was thinking, I had a really deep thought this afternoon. I've not been 100% myself this week, and I had a deep thought this week. And you know, I'm proud of some of the stuff I've achieved in terms of where I've been. Really missing people this week, I think. You know, been on a big sales meeting this morning, and I was sending messages to someone while they're presenting, trying to put them off. Because that's me. If we're in a group with everybody, I'll try and put them off or flick something at them while they're presenting just to put them off. And I can't. So I was sending them texts as while they were presenting on this Zoom, you know, just like telling them to bollocks or whatever. And just through each message I sent to each one of the guys today was like, I miss you. And it's true. And I later this afternoon, I just had an hour where I just thought about a few things. And before 5 came on even, but it's just fetched it back to me, is that I've been quiet about a lot of stuff I've achieved, and I've been humble in a lot of stuff I've done. I've spoken, shouted about it for you that sit there thinking, he's not like that. I've done it when I really think I can do it. There's so many achievements I've made sometimes in life, though, that I've just not done it. I've been with one brand. If you think of Wahl, you think of me. If you think of me, you think of Wahl. I've not prostituted myself with 700 brands till I get to the right one. I picked my spot where I wanted to be. So I think tonight's interview with 5 really resonates that with people. And, you know, next week we've got Barry Stevens on. The week after we've got Mark Woolley on. Real true pros. And this is what this show's about, really identifying and fetching on real big professionals. Be careful who you choose to work with over these COVID times. in terms of like, oh, I'm going to be an ambassador for this and that. Wait, just wait. Things will get back to normal. Just don't sign up with people until you're ready. Make sure you make the right choices. I'm going to have to hand over to you guys because I'm struggling at the minute. I'm going to be sneezing and I've got a bad head. But God bless you all. Have a nice weekend. We'll see you all next week. Hopefully I'm feeling 100% better next week. But have a nice weekend, everybody. I'll hand you over to Gaz.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, as you see, a true professional, not feeling 100%, but wouldn't let his mate down. And he wouldn't. I put a post on earlier, got in the bar, had a shower, had a shave. Want to meet me mates in the bar. I had a Swifty before I got there, waiting for them. They were a bit tardy, but it's always worth the wait. Love you guys. Love Mr. Simon Sean. Love all our team. And I love all you guys out there. Love you all to death. Stay safe. And we'll see you in the arms next Friday.
Yeah, next week, guys. Yeah. I was struggling because I can't my neck.